When we talk about how people are portrayed within South African media, we're really talking about power. In South Africa, African immigrants are often portrayed in a very narrow and damaging way. I wanted to take a closer look at how media convergence plays a role in that and whether it can be used to effectively change the narrative, not just for African immigrants, but for other misrepresented and underrepresented groups within South Africa. This is what I discovered. This is a brief reflection on media convergence and how African immigrants are represented in South African media. We'll be tying it into how they are represented in xenophobic discourse as well. Media platforms aren't as isolated from each other as they once were. In fact, they are more connected now than they ever were. Media platforms intersect to provide content instantly and anywhere. But for African immigrants living in South Africa, this media convergence becomes dangerous if it were to tell the same story constantly, one that is one-sided and stereotypical. The mainstream media will often misrepresent immigrants. They are often shown to be criminals, economic threats, and threats to public services. When concentrated, these portrayals influence public opinion and government policies. Misrepresentation leads to lived realities being completely ignored. What ends up missing from the media are the real, everyday experiences of immigrants. Ideally, media convergence could help diversify stories. In reality, it spreads the same biased narratives more often than not across platforms. What's different is that its effect is faster and reaches more people. Digital platforms help to bring out independent and digital voices. YouTube, TikTok, and podcasting have given way to immigrants now being able to tell their stories through their lens, unfiltered and uncensored. These platforms offer more control over immigrants' identity and voice than mainstream media. It shows that media convergence can be a positive tool for change. It's not just who gets represented in the media, but if they're allowed to speak and who gets heard. As media continues to converge, representation must become more inclusive, because storytelling without diversity defeats its intended purpose. Thank you for watching. Let's keep poking and asking which voices are amplified and which of those are still left out. Media convergence isn't just about content traveling faster, it's about whose voices travel with it and whose do not. So next time you hear a story about foreign nationals or African immigrants, ask yourself, what's been left out? Because representation isn't just about what we see, it's what we choose to amplify. Thank you.